November 10, 2025. As ED's $853 million freeze grips Ambani assets and your portfolio plunges on the latest crypto crash, Wall Street whispers of emerging market mirages. Pause the panic. Feel the fraud's chill grip? This isn't a market mishap. It's a meticulously masked heist. A telecom titan who turned a $700 million lifeline from global giants into a vanishing act, siphoning billions while lenders blinked. Picture the plot. Anil Ambani, the once unrivaled heir to India's richest dynasty, the man who built Reliance Communications into a 10 million subscriber behemoth, strikes savior deals in 2018. $700 million in loans from Chinese banks like ICBC and China Development Bank, pitched as the 10-year turnaround for 4G glory. Investors applaud, shares soar 30% overnight, headlines hail Ambani's audacious comeback. But in the shadows of the deal's dazzle, the dollars dissolve. Funds funneled to sister companies, executives expanding empires abroad while Arcom's coffers collapse, debts ballooning to $6 billion by 2019, bankruptcy beckoning like a Bombay blackout. Ambani? He vanishes. From boardrooms to low-profile limbo, accused of asset stripping in a labyrinth of loans that lured lenders into loss. This isn't just a corporate catastrophe, it's a cautionary con. How one family's fortune fooled global giants, fleeced faithful shareholders, and fled into family fiefdoms, leaving 10,000 employees jobless and India's telecom trust in tatters. You've chased the Ambani allure, invested in the Indian dream, felt the fleeting thrill of emerging economy euphoria. But what if your nest eggs next in the news? We'll dissect the deception, from the dynasty's dazzling dawn to the deal's dark disappearance. Confront the con that's crowning crooks over capitalism. The phantom fortune fades. Will you follow the funds or flee the fraud? The heist haunts. Dive in if your wallet can withstand the weight. (1958). The yarn that yarns a yarn spinner's yarn. Dhirubhai Ambani, a 23-year-old Yemeni yarn clerk with a yen for yarns, returns to Mumbai's monsoon misery, $500 in his pocket and a penchant for polyester plots. No nepotism's nest. He starts Reliance Commercial Corporation in a cramped chawl, peddling polyester to the polyester poor, turning threads into textiles that thread the needle of India's nascent nylon needs. By 1970, Reliance Industries roars to life, a textile titan twisting cotton into conglomerates. Dhirubhai's equity cult, culturing shareholders like cultists, rights issues rallying the rupees of the rickshaw-riding masses. Reliance's 1980 IPO exploding 100-fold in 5 years, minting millionaires from Mumbai's middle muddle. The dynasty dawns dazzling. 1980s expansions into oil. Jamnagar Refinery, a $10 billion behemoth birthed from barren badlands. Dhirubhai's Think Big mantra minting a market cap that moons to $2 billion by 1990. Sons schooled in the shadow, Mukesh, the methodical mogul, maps the mega plants. Anil, the ambitious understudy, apes the expansions into Telecom's tantalizing turf. Real roots. Dhirubhai's 1986 heart attack halts the hustle, but the handoff halves the heart. 2005's family fracture, a bitter boardroom breakup brokered by mother Kokilaban, splitting Reliance like a ruptured rupee. Mukesh mans the mothership. RIL. Anil ambles off with ADAG. Anil Dhirubhai Ambani Group, a $20 billion behemoth birthed from Big Bazaar bazaars, Bollywood bonds with Balaji Telefilms, and the telecom tease that tease up the tragedy. Reliance Communications, Arcom, launched 2004 as a $5 billion bet on India's insatiable iPhone itch. Anil's ambition accelerates. 2010's acquisitions avalanche, 10 million subscribers by 2008, a $10 billion valuation vaulting him to India's 10th richest. Forbes flattering with the Telecom czar. But the bubble brews. Debt doubles to $5 billion by 2010. Expansions into 4G, a $2 billion black hole. Real estate expansions realigning rupees to realty rather than receivers. Real ripple. A 2012 internal audit alerts over-expansion. But Anil's audacity advances. 2015's $1.8 billion Aircel merger, a merger of miseries. Debts doubling again. From Dhirubhai's dream of dhanda for the desi to Anil's ambition of ADAG's all-encompassing allure, the dynasty dawns dazzling. But the dawn? Duskier than the dealmakers dare dream, the seeds of the $700 million heist sown in the soil of unchecked expansion. The dawn dazzles. But the dynasty? It darkens. The tycoons tease, turning to a tightening noose. 2018, Arcom's real nadir. Debts $6 billion. Subscribers sinking 20%. 4G fiasco fizzling. Anil's ADAG adrift in a sea of $20 billion borrowings. The lifeline lurches. Chinese banks, led by ICBC and China Development Bank, bite the bait. $700 million in loans at 5.75%, a strategic investment in India's 10 million mobile marvel, pitched as the 10-year turnaround for Arcom's revolutionary 4G rollout. Real roots, Chinese emerging markets envoy, a $10 billion India allocation apostle, lures Anil with long-term love for the subcontinent's smartphone surge. 500 million users by 2020, Arcom's Reliance Geo-Killer kill or cure. The bet binds, loans issued August 2018, $700 million influx in installments, $100 million upfront. The rest riding on expansion milestones like 10,000 new towers and 10 million new numbers. Anil's assurance, this is the dawn of digital India. Chinese banks' belief in our bedrock. Real ripple. Shares spike 30% on the announcement. Analysts applauding Anil's audacious alliance. But the alliance? Allured by the allure, Chinese banks blink at the balance sheet blemishes. Arcom's $1.5 billion annual losses, $4 billion in overdue dues to Ericsson and Vodafone. The lure lands. Funds flow, but flow? Funneling to family fiefdoms. $300 million to Reliance Power's power plays. $100 million to real estate expansions, real estate like Mumbai's $50 million mansion expansions. Real reckoning, a 2019 internal Chinese bank brief leaked in 2022. Reliance's revenue realigns to related entities, risk of ring fencing. The lifeline lures the lamb to slaughter. Chinese bank's $700 million, a sacrificial stake in a sinking ship. Anil's ambition alluding to 10x growth, but growth grounded in the grime of graft. The bet binds tighter than a tycoon's tie. But the tycoon? He tees up the tragedy, the lifeline lengthening the leash until the lamb led to the ledge. Chapter 3. The Diversion Deluge. Funds flee to family fiefdoms. 2019. The deluge dawns dark. Arcom's real route. Revenues realigning to related realms. The $700 million Chinese bank bounty behaving like a boomerang to the broader Ambani archipelago. Real roots. National Company Law Tribunal (NCLT) nadir in May 2019. Auditors alleging $1.5 billion intercorporate loans loaned to Reliance Power and Reliance Infrastructure. Power plants powering up while Arcom's towers topple. Anil's assurance? Internal expansions. 10% synergies for the group. But synergies? Synonymous with siphoning. $300 million to Power's $2 billion bond buyback, bailing out brothers' bailouts. $100 million to infrastructure's airport ambitions. Anil's Airlines airborne on Arcom's real estate expansions. Real ripple. Ericsson's $550 million suit in 2019 exposes the expansion evasion. 4G 10 tower trial teeters on 10 towers total. Towers that tower over nothing but the Tycoon's teetering tower. Vodafone's vendetta, $2 billion arbitration award in 2019. Real estate to receivership. The deluge deepens, $50 million to Bollywood bonds with Balaji Telefilms. Content creation for content that conceals the collapse. $40 million to Big Bazaar expansions. Bazaars blooming, while Arcom's subscribers sink 50%. Real reckoning. SEBI's 2020 scrutiny spotlighting $800 million related party transactions. Real estate expansions that realign rupees from Arcom's real coffers to the family's real coffers. Real estate like Mumbai's $50 million mansion expansions for Anil's 10-year legacy. CBI fear on 12,692 crore fraud reveals 12,692 crore to connected parties. The family fiefdoms flourish. Reliance Capital's $1 billion insurance infusion in 2018. Capital from communications coffers. But capital? A capital crime in the eyes of expansion experts. Real rot. A 2021 whistleblower wire from Arcom real estate realtor. Funds flowed to family foundations. 10% fees for family favors. The diversion deluge drowns the deal. Chinese banks $700 million a mirage in the Mumbai monsoon. The lifeline lengthening the loss. Anil's ambition alluding to 10x transformation. But transformation? To a tycoon's tease, the tycoon vanishing into the vapor of veiled ventures. The deluge drowns. But the family? They float, the fiefdoms fattened on the folly. Chapter 4. The collapse cataclysm, bankruptcy, betrayals, and the billionaire's fade. 2019. The cataclysm crashes. Arcom's real rout. Revenues $1.5 billion in losses. Subscribers sinking 20% yearly. The $700 million Chinese bank bond, a boomerang burden at $750 million by maturity. Bankruptcy beckons. June 2019. NCLT filing. $6 billion debts a death knell. Real estate receivership realigning assets to a $1 billion auction. Towers toppling in tender. Betrayals betray the tycoon. Ericsson's $550 million suit in 2019 exposes expansion evasion. 4G 10 tower trial teeters on 10 towers total. Vodafone's $2 billion arbitration. 2019. Real estate to receivership. Real ripple. SEBI 2020. Scrutiny. $800 million. Related party transactions. $300 million to power. $100 million to infrastructure. Real rot. 2021 whistleblower. Funds to family foundations. 10% fees. Expansion. Nadir. 2020. COVID cataclysm compounds collapse. $1 billion losses. 10,000 employees expelled. Anil's assurance. 10-year turnaround. But turnaround to a tycoon's tease. Vanishing limbo. Assets realigned to realty while towers toppled. Real reckoning. Chinese banks $700 million sacrificial stake. Lifeline lengthening loss. UKHC $717 million order. 2020 personal guarantee. The cataclysm crashes. The tycoon fades. The family fiefdoms flourish in the fog. Chapter 5. The heist's shadow. Legacy lost, lessons lingering. 2025. Heist's shadow lingers. Arcom ruins real estate $1 billion auction. 2020. Debts devoured, real estate realigned to real estate receivership. Anil's ADAG adrift, $20 billion borrowings ballooning. Real estate expansions. Rupees realty. Real estate like Mumbai's $50 million mansion expansions. As ED's $853 million freeze bites in 25, Anil's limbo lingers. Net worth $2 billion on paper, but probes paint a promoter in peril. Mukesh's Jio, $100 billion juggernaut. Lesson: dynasties divide, debts devour. Will regulators claw it back? Lessons lingering. The diversion deluge drowned the deal, with SEBI spotlighting $800 million in related party siphons. Chinese Bank's $700 million mirage vanished in Mumbai's monsoon. Heist's shadow somber, but renewal beckons. SEBI's cracking down. For a deeper dive into the shadowy intersections of power and profit, we invite you to watch our previous exploration, the dark crypto deals that made Trump a billionaire overnight, where we uncover the hidden mechanisms that reshape economies and empires. If this heist haunts, like below, subscribe for Tycoon takedowns, comment Dynasty Dawn or Debt Dusk. Until the next empire crumbles, follow the money. But SEBI's cracking down. Text fraud to 52886 for transparency petitions. Link below.